after 8 o'clock on a morning, well, the rest of the morning without Mike Winters. And joining us in studio this morning is Amy McVay-Tellez from the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it. It's definitely been a busy time of year, and you guys never stop moving. You guys,
No.
For the focus, when you guys have your focus on looking back, you guys are always moving forward.
That's right. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's
So,
cool.
so what do you guys have going on lately? What's been happening?
Well, we're just like so many, we're very, very excited to be part of the 100th anniversary of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many calls John LeMay and our amazing archives group took to help find photos and things for these amazing booths. And one day he called me and we were talking and we said, just a minute. Isn't that amazing? We had 4-H groups. We've worked with many garden clubs. We've worked with Michelle Hembry and the amazing Arts and Crafts Building. It's so amazing to know at the end of the day, people were calling and celebrating history. Literally, everybody was living our mission.
Right. And it's kind of
cool. That's awesome.
It's kind of a cool feeling that you guys are like the keepers of the tome of history. It's like every ounce of it's like, yeah, we can talk. We can give you some 4-H, some historical pictures for the 4-H. We can give you some historical pictures from this company or that company. You guys are the keepers of all.
It's really
the
cool,
memories.
really cool, and I want to thank so many groups where and what I will say is this. Let's not forget that after this event's over and we celebrate this amazing event of the 100th anniversary, don't forget to keep celebrating history in one way or another. But I do want to also give a shout out to Michelle Hembry. The Historical Society has been honored to work with the Morning Garden Club and all the garden clubs to get that arts and crafts building. And something fun, Sean, I want to mention is in that building, we've made an intentional effort, and I've partnered with Michelle, that we will have our 20-minute video looping in that building. So again, I think I really appreciate all involved making an intentional effort to celebrate history, not just the fair. And that's what I love about the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. It's not just about them. Yes, this is our event, but they live our mission also, just celebrating history. So make sure and check that out in the Arts and Crafts Building. We'll have all of our brochures, information about this fun event we're going to talk about. Don't forget to keep collecting your loose change. And don't forget that our facilities are open by appointment. And let me tell you, we've had a lot of appointments. And you know what? And I like that because, I try to run the facility, but, with great leadership comes committees doing their thing. I have not known who's coming and going because there's so much research going on. But that's a great team, great groups. So I'm blessed to have a hardworking board that are getting these things going. And one way or another, if it's not one person, it's another person working together to celebrate history.
It's awesome. And it's great to see. And that's one thing I love about the Historical Society is with you guys taking appointments and with things opening back up, it really is a fantastic place to kind of dive in and experience history. And if you're a class or if you're a group, a history club with the school that wants to tour the JP White House, appointments are always available.
For sure.
And it's just a great thing to be a part of.
And it's been a win-win because of COVID. Yes, we shut down. During those times, we pivoted and we did open by appointment. I will say, hands down, that's one of the greatest decisions we've ever made for this reason. We've done appointments at 8 o'clock in the morning. We've done appointments at 7 o'clock at night. We have broadened our horizons and opened more opportunity for groups or individuals that can't come from 1 to 4. I'll be honest with you. Before COVID, when we were 1 to 4, honestly, our locals, that's not convenient for locals. Sure. You've got parents and schools and work and all this. So we've made it easier and more accommodating, I think, to offer these opportunities to so much more.
It's a real testament to the ingenuity of the people that run the Historical Society because you guys have taken so much positive out of COVID. Not just the appointments, not just the appointment only, but also the drive-through fundraising and that concept that works so well and is so loved by Roswell. That's a COVID byproduct.
Yep.
It's just that's
sunny side up.
It's a testament to the ingenuity of you guys. At the
happy faces. During these times, there's not our groups and our subgroups and our offspring, if you will. Even when Mike was going through hard times. Another thing we've done is make an intentional effort to give sweet messages in the morning, come together and say, hey, we're going to be all right. Catch you back.
Absolutely.
So just like my board president messaged me this morning, we're going to send out messages. We're going to see things side up, and we are going to look for the best there is. That's biblical. I mean, I'm not preaching, but there's good in all things.
Absolutely.
And we've done our best to pull out, suck that blood out of the turnip and find every good bit of good, if there is just a little
that bad boy.
We're going to find the good. We're going to find the good. We're going to bless kids. We're going to work with kids. Another thing, people, I haven't mentioned, we've been working with a lot of different groups, private schools and public schools. We're determined to get as many history clubs going in as many schools, whether it's private, whether it's homeschooled. We're working with, again, those, there's not a week the Strange family isn't on the property, but now their family's expanding. Their families of families coming in, doing things, helping, praying at the polls, doing hard things. We've had a hard week. I want to give a shout out to the Glass family. We lost our sweet Mary Lou. She's flying with the angels. I'm not going to leave that on a sad note, but I will say that was an era, if you will. Absolutely. From the beginning, when you lose the heartbeat, that center, that nucleus, the heartbeat. We're going to feel it, because we do feel. We care. And so she was certainly a woman to be celebrated. As long as I'm around doing what I'm doing, we're going to celebrate her, because she didn't like us celebrating her much, which I really like that. You know, silent heroes, those silent heroes, she would roll her eyes if she knew I was saying that right now.
She ain't in it for the clout. She's in it for the, to make the world a better place.
Come before, come after. But hard work, integrity, all of that go into her. So I think we've got these upcoming generations with more sweet little Mary Lou's. We need to celebrate class and dignity of the home and history, and pull together and unite. That's something else. I think she wanted us to share light for others, and we sure will do that. So honoring her in a lot of different ways included. She was a school teacher, so I know she would love to know, like by next year we could say 50% of Roswell schools have history clubs or something. That'd be really cool.
I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about, the Historical Society and what you guys do is you don't just let history sit back there and hang out. You reignite it. You're constantly, shaking it back awake and bringing it back to modern times. And you put it in such an understandable perspective for kids through like the CAPS program, through all these amazing, and case in point, this event you guys have coming up at the end of October. Yay. This is another one of those things where you're really bringing history right to the forefront and showing kids it wasn't that long ago that this stuff we're talking about was actually happening.
That's right. And I think once that kids, we focus on the youth. They're our future. The next Mary Lou is in one of these schools. We just have to find them and cultivate that sweet spirit. But I think that it is important for people to realize that these sweet little young kids at home, once they realize they are walking, breathing, living history, and that the history comes from their generations, and they connect all these dots to everywhere you are, the school history, or wherever it is, whether it's fairgrounds, wherever. So, or whether you're on Main Street, rich history of Main Street and what it was like. So, we do have a lot of fun. Our board won't stop celebrating history in a fun way too. Like you're saying, the spooky event we've got coming on. I want to remind everybody, please mark your calendar for October the 23rd. I know Donna Blake Burchell is very excited to come from Carlsbad. I know John LeMay is always in for a good history talk. And I think it's a fun way. It is not something I wanted individuals to know. We respect all beliefs, so it is not a Halloween-ish event, if that makes sense. So we've got a spooky Southwest event that's open to the family. We will have Halloween treats. Sweet Miss Dr. Huckabee. She's one of our newer individuals on the board, and I'll tell you what, she's a Betty Crocker. She's I love it, and you will love that. She every event. Can we have some treats? And I thought, you know what? That's just an added blessing. I don't have a problem with that.
Not at all.
So we'll have some spooky little treats for that event too. So those events are always good to pick up books. And also, if you wanted, we're open. If you called and said, hey, listen, we've been putting off getting a tour. Could we arrange a tour right before that event? I think that would be a perfect opportunity to schedule a tour like at 1:00 maybe or something like that, and then go straight to the event. So there's no fee for those programs, and we've got some other programs coming up. But this one we're really excited about, and they'll have their books too.
It's called the Spooky Southwest Tales of Strange History. We're going to dive into stuff like the mummy of John Wilkes Booth, the Navajo witch purge of 1876, and a lot of ghost stories from here in southeastern New Mexico, which is amazing because New Mexico has some of the most fascinating ghost towns in the entire country. Like
For sure.
Some of the stories coming out of of some of these abandoned places. Like even, and I know it's a complicated and a bit controversial past, but even the history of Blackdom.
Yes.
I mean, it's
for sure. Oh, for sure. We just had some calls. Yes, on Blackdom.
It's fascinating.
Yes,
just to see all that happened just a few miles away from us.
Yes, whether it's Blackdom, we're working with Sergeant Frescas, giving her a shout out. Boy, her vision is to really, really inspire individuals and kind of revive what we call the Chihuahua area. And wow, that's exciting.
It is.
And whether it's Blackdom or Chihuahua or whether it's the historical district, whether it's Main Street.
Right.
I'm fascinated by some people that own a store or working on a store on Main Street. We've got that rich legacy, like, good grief, like Bullocks and Roswell Seed that have been there so long. And even to me, like Roswell Livestock and these businesses. But then some of these businesses have no idea the history of downtown Roswell and the courthouse and New Mexico Military Institute. You know, we can go on and on. But people always say, I can't volunteer at the Historical Society. History's not my thing. If you live in Roswell, like my husband and I, we're all in about sports. The history is rich with history. And one thing I think about sports that we see, people always say, why are you here? You don't have a child here or whatever. The history is right here. We may have the next world champion. We may have the next kid that never thought they could go to school, but through perseverance and working hard, they can get a scholarship through athletics, or just inspiring their dreams of champions. We've had national champions right living, breathing on the Mexico Military Institute property. I can't believe, I'm so excited to know we're talking about the whole world knowing about our sweet little town and its history, not just one thing, but 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 things. So, and then we haven't even talked about art. I think that's something we take so much for granted. And whether we're not an artist, or people say, I'm not really into the arts. I don't know anybody that's not inspired by art.
Art in some way. And that's the thing. Art doesn't have to just be paint on canvas. Art is art is photograph or photography. Art is music. The jazz festival's coming up here in Roswell, and that's a celebration of just an amazing genre of music. And Roswell's always so great at capturing that and then putting it in the forefront, like with the jazz festival and with with our festival season.
RCLT. They're always doing them. I can't keep up, and our lives are busy, and so we don't have to keep up. We need to make sure, as we have those little things called iPhones in our pockets, that we make sure and don't just live our lives on Amazoning or Instagramming just for other things.
Just to clarify, this is a Samsung, all right?
Mine is too.
Android.
Thank you very much, Ralph. See, I'm just saying. Ralph, I've got the Samsung. That's right. But make sure that you just take a moment before the weekend to see what else is going on, because you and I were just talking about that.
There's a lot. It's Walk for Hope is this weekend.
There's so many things.
The Wrights Carnival gets underway this weekend.
Right.
There's a lot. You hear it from everybody you talk to in Roswell. There's nothing to do here.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
There's too much to do.
There's a lot. Well, and just like with our CAPS event that weekend, people had a hard time because there were so many things going on.
Right.
But we do have a lot to offer, and make sure you go to the See Roswell website. I want to encourage people. I'm part of the Roswell Tourism Council, and we meet once a month there at the Historical Society. If you want to get more involved about encouraging or motivating or unifying our tourism and all that's going on. I know there was a tourism talk last week and so many things going on. Call the Historical Society. I know Judy Stubbs is very involved, Elaine Mayfield, Jane Anglin, so many of us to just pull together and talk about so many things popping up. We've had Airbnbs popping up, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. That's fun. So there's just a lot going on, and make sure that you take a moment. I give a moment, or I pray and do those things. And, let's make an intentional effort to wake up and see what's going on for the weekend. Help support, whether you could support by making a donation or helping all that. We're in this together. And when you come to the Historical Society, it's not about us. We want to partner with many other groups and different things.
One of my favorite things about the fair is walking through the train building, for example. All of the different window displays from the 4-H, from the FFA, and all those, like you were saying, those amazing pictures from days gone by. And it's literally walking through history.
I bet 50, 60, 70% of those booths have somehow contacted the Historical Society.
I would not be shocked.
Then finding and their research and digging and finding out more. So I really appreciate that. And you're right, because when you walk through that building, we're in that building. We've got a really cool awning and stuff. We're kind of on the corner. But it's a reminder of so many hard work and efforts through the city, through the school, so many things that so many great organizations.
It's actually it's an exciting year because our fearless leader Gene Dow is going to be one of the volunteer conductors for the model train this year.
Oh,
well,
nice.
Okay, they said they're going to let him sit and watch it happen. They're not sure if they're going to let him take the controls yet. Not sure if they're ready to give that man that much power.
So he will be in the building.
Yeah,
he'll
be in the booth, ready to take over if say the head conductor has like a heart attack or something. Gene can jump at the controls.
Well, that's really cool. That's really cool.
It's going to be a good time. But obviously, busy time with the fair coming up next week. The Spooky Southwest event happening on October 23rd. One thing we haven't even talked about. Party season's coming up. You can rent the archive facility,
and it's getting full too. And but yes, we have very minimal rates. So please give us a call. And you're right, we'll basically set that up. I mean, a lot of buildings that I've rented, we have the potential to really get that set up. We've got the amazing kitchen. 50, 60 people come and go. You could probably accommodate, more like 70 to 100 people.
And
so
it's such a nice space. It's really, it's intimate. It's homey. It feels really awesome.
We set up a lot of groups like civic organizations to do just like a quick 30-minute tour and then go right into their event and stuff. So that's a lot of fun. We've done receptions. Just had a 90th birthday party, I believe. So many different things. And meetings. If you need an area for meetings, we've got the projector and screen and everything too. So we're ready to set up for that. Don't forget memberships and fun things like that.
Yes.
We will be at the Holiday Magic. So look for a booth there, doing your Christmas shopping and fun things. It's right around the corner. I can't believe it.
I'm not ready, man.
I know. Well, I cannot believe. I mean, we are might as well be in October. And I was preparing and filling out my paperwork, and they had called because for some reason I hadn't gotten an email, and I'm like, it is really Holiday Magic time almost.
That's so crazy.
It is. It's right. It really does. It really does. So, and we, again, are collecting loose change. If you have your loose change, bring it, and we will even pick it up. Every cent does count. If we have one of our containers and it's that time and we haven't been by to check it, give us a call. A lot's been going on, but again, any way we can help, or if you have fun questions or needs, you can always call the museum.
Yes.
622-8333. If you have research needs, call the archives, 622-1176. You can email me at historydirector@outlook.com. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook. We'll answer those questions, or go directly to our website at roswellnmhistory.org. And if you want to just watch our video and you haven't done that, you can go right on, and there's links on our website.
Yes, absolutely. All kinds of resources available to you. Well, Miss Amy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming out, and have fun next week.
Yay! Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your time at the Eastern Mexico State Fair. It's going to be a blast. From the past.
There you go.
19 minutes away